Dodgers are really looking to make big changes. And you know that they have a lot of money to work with, but they're kind of also limited because they have a lot of big numbers, big players to work with who are really expensive players. And one thing that's going on right now is that Justin Turner is really, really kind of being a little bit of a crying baby right now because uh, you know, the Dodgers are really having a negotiation tactic here, and he's asking for 4 years. They're saying no, we're only going to give you 2 years. We're going to talk about that. Also, three names that have come up. Okay, DJ LeMahieu, Chris Bryant, and Eugenio Suarez. Now, all of these players have a great load of money attached to them. Most of us wouldn't make near the same amount of money, but let's get to this. So, Justin Turner, we've seen him as a great Dodger. He's got great clutch, he's got great energy, he's helped with the team chemistry, he adds to the chemistry of the team. He's honestly an amazing person, great player. He's done really well, but here's the problem. Justin Turner's asking for a 4-year contract extension, but the Dodgers are only offering him a 2-year contract. Here's why. The Justin Turner is 36 years old. We've seen a decline in Justin Turner. He's actually having trouble on third base catching high velocity fastballs. That has caused the Dodgers, Andrew Friedman, Magic Johnson, and others to start looking at him and saying, we could offer you that, but we're not going to because we don't know how you're going to be at the age of 39. And then when the contract, when you turn 40, a month after that contract ends, how you're going to be. So we're thinking of just giving you 2 years because you are doing better than the average 36-year-old baseball player. So here you go. But Justin Turner wants more, possibly more than $23 million, but, it's just his ego's getting in the way. The Dodgers are looking at money. They're looking at math, but they're also looking at the velocity of their players, the stamina of their players, and Justin is not doing too hot in that discussion room when they're talking about here's who we've got that's doing really well. Now, here are a few names that they're looking at. Number one, DJ LeMahieu. So DJ LeMahieu, pretty good player, not great on defense. He's actually pretty average, actually even below average in terms of defense. So the Dodgers would be downgrading in terms of defense from Justin Turner, but they could actually do pretty well with him in terms of his, the amount of plays he can do as a right-hander. Now, he could actually slip, come in as a 4-year contract, and he would be much younger. He's about 29 years old, and so they might give that to him because, well, why not? He's 4 years younger. He has a lot more velocity in him. He's got a lot more stamina than Justin Turner, and they would feel more comfortable doing that. And that might be a good step for the Dodgers. Now, another name that's come up is Chris Bryant. Chris Bryant. I'm not sure that I'm good with that because in Dodgerland we know who Chris Bryant is. He's from the Chicago Cubs. We don't like Chris Bryant. He's come against us. They won the World Series with him. But the thing is, he's been there since I think 25. He's been an MVP superstar. He's 29 years old. He just turned 29 last week, I believe, and so he's still pretty young. He's still a hot shot. So what they're saying is he could be a 1-year rental, kind of like a free agent, but just sign him for a year, and then he can move on. And it would actually be cheaper for the Dodgers because they don't have to pay him more than $20 or $30 million. Probably even they could actually pay him less than $20 million. And so because, it's a 1-year contract. A lot of these guys, they're signing up for $50 million contracts, and they're being paid, $10 million for 5 years. Every year for 5 years. That's a lot of money. But Chris Bryant possibly could be not a very big fan of that, and a lot of people in the Dodger world do not like that. But that's a rumor that has been flying by. Another name that has actually flown by is Eugenio Suarez. Eugenio Suarez has done pretty good. He had 20 plus home runs from 2016 to 2019. Last year he had 15 runs in 57 games, and so he did pretty well, if you ask me, if in that kind of with that kind of record. Now he could actually do well because with Corey Seager's, the $12 million, he could actually slip into that $12 million spot with kind of like in Seager's $12 million spot. And actually, he has a 4 year contract worth $44 million plus an extra, plus a 5 year, an extra fifth year contract with an extra $15 million. So that's $59 million, almost $60 million that he would be getting. That would be a pretty good option. He's still young enough, still could do pretty good with that. Now the Dodgers are looking to keep Joe Kelly, Clayton Kershaw, all of these players, Kenley Jansen, who's got $20 million. Now what they could do is, you got to realize that if they were to sign DJ LeMahieu, or they would be going a little bit above the tax line, but then they could dip back down. And if they sign Eugenio Suarez, it's the same thing. Now they're looking to get rid of the $20 million they're giving to Jansen and others. They're going to take those off the books. Jansen's going to retire soon, most likely. So they're going to want to give those numbers to Suarez, to Seager. And they still got to pay Mookie Betts, who signed a $365 million contract for 12 years. They still got to pay Buehler. They still got to pay Cody Bellinger, Corey Seager, and all kinds of other players. So Dodgers are playing with money. They know they can't spend irresponsibly. They have to save money. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Fans will not be allowed in the stadiums in California, for the Angels, the Oakland A's, the Giants. Horrible. Or the Dodgers, right? Well, just right. So, you got a lot of big numbers going on, but that's essentially what's going on. Is DJ LeMahieu could sign that 4-year deal. Basically, not as great on defense as Justin Turner is, but he is younger than Justin Turner. And then you've got Chris Bryant, who could possibly be a 1-year rental. And then you have Eugenio Suarez, who could slip in with that $44 million contract with the extra fifth year of $15 million, $59 million. He could actually slip in at $12 million a year with a Corey Seager. And then they could sign Joe Kelly, Clayton Kershaw, Cody Bellinger, Walker Buehler, and Corey, Seager, and all the rest of them. I'm pretty sure I said it. But anyway, they could do that. But on Justin Turner, look, they're playing hardball. I mean, they are really negotiating and kind of throwing the book at him and saying, you're either going to take 2 years, shut up and take it, don't throw a fit. And Justin Turner could actually be negotiating too, throwing a negotiating tactic where he's throwing out 4 years and then maybe saying, hey, let's meet in the middle. I don't know. Who knows? He could be saying that, and that could be it. It could just be him saying, look, I don't just want another 2 years. I want another 3 years. Personally, I think he should just take the 2-year contract, retire as a Dodger, become a first base coach, become a coach in the Dodgers organization, and work your way up like the Dodger legends, Don Newcomb, Sandy Koufax. Wow, Dodgers people are going to be like, wow, you're terrible. By the way, Dodger shirt, wearing it. Yep, that's right. 2020 World Series champions Dodgers. The champion Dodgers, but Sandy Koufax and unfortunately who passed away, a man who passed away, Tommy Lasorda, work your way up. Retire as a Dodger. Take those 2 years. You'll be fine. So, comment down below. Do you think Justin Turner is being a baby? Do you think his ego is getting in the way? Do you think the Dodgers playing hardball like this and telling him, no, you're not going to get a 4-year contract, just 2 years, you're 36 years old. We've seen a lot of... We've seen some decline in you. Do you think they're in the right? Do you think Justin Turner's in the right? What do you think Justin Turner should do? What do you think the Dodgers should do? And also, which name do you like more? DJ LeMahieu, Chris Bryant, or Eugenio Suarez? Personally, I like Suarez. LeMahieu, okay, fine. But who do you think they should get if they were to get rid of Turner? I don't think they should. I don't think Dodger fans want to see him go, but I think the Dodgers would let him go if they had no other choice. And by the way, we're coming up on training camp. So Justin Turner and the Dodgers have to, get this settled because it's gonna get tougher coming up soon.